Hello, welcome to Local Music Shapes Culture. I'm Allison Kristoff, and today I'm here with Jess, aka DJ Little Town. I had to think about what I was going to call you for a second. Local Music Shapes Culture is a podcast about local music scenes and the culture surrounding them. Jess is a DJ here in town in Indianapolis, and she has been in bands in the past, but right now she's like a full-time DJ. That's her thing. How'd you first get into DJing?
So, I'm really, really lucky. I have an older sister that, is so cool. I just was born lucky. She's 15 years older than me, which is kind of a lot. So she helped
I forgot about that.
Raise me. And she pretty much has worked at a record store, I feel like, since I was 10. So she still works at a record store. Decades later, she still does. She's a mom now and has 2 kids.
Where's she live again?
She lives in Portland, Oregon.
Okay.
She works at Mississippi Records, really cool record store. It used to be on Mississippi Avenue in the 2010s. Now it's on Albina in Portland, so maybe people would know it. Be stoked to hear that.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But that's my sister. Her name's Karen. We're actually Brazilian, so her name is Karen, but in English in America it's Karen, which is hilarious.
Yeah, that is funny.
She was naming her something cool instead of Maria or fucking Marcela, which is a cool Brazilian name to us, but she's like, oh, Karen, that'd be cool. And it's this Karen. And then her sister's name, just random info, is Karina, which I think is cute. So it's this whole thing. But yeah, so my sister, she's just really a big beacon. She's still, obviously, I'm saying was, but she is. She still is just this beacon of knowledge
when you were
in
growing
music
up.
and good taste in things. She would give me things. She wasn't and I really take that on personally with my way of giving gifts, because she'd just be like, here, you should like this, more than what do you like?
Yeah.
Oh, you like Fortnite music? Okay. Or what the kids are into. She's just like, here, you should know what this is,
Yeah,
kind of thing. So
that's
she did
cool.
that with me a lot. So I learned about the Ramones, and my favorite band when I was in middle school was the Yeah Yeah Yeahs. I thought Karen O was really cool, and I liked the early punk album, and then I loved when It Splits came out with the Eyeball. So I guess that was the indie rock era. But yeah, she showed me a lot of music, and I definitely would visit her in Portland after she moved. She moved when I was 12 and didn't really have anything else to do besides go to the record store that she worked at. And then I kind of liked how it felt to touch records, and I thought it was cool to play
Wait,
them.
so did you both grow up here, or?
She grew up here and moved, I forget how old she was. I think she was 28 when she moved.
Okay.
And I was 12.
Yeah. So you would go and visit her
are.
and experience the records?
Yeah, I would go and, I knew what they were before she moved, but that was kind of more of a focus, because at that point, I'm leaving my hometown, going to Portland, and not having anything else to do besides hang out with her there or her friends or whatever.
Right.
And then being at that record store, I kind of just took in that environment of oh, it's interesting. We've been to 3 record stores this summer, and I noticed that I keep seeing this guy's face on the wall. Who is Prince or something?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you just kind of start to learn about music. And that was still very much the era of CDs, so we weren't totally streaming how we are now. So
Not quite
physical
yet.
media was a big thing, and I learned about music a lot. And like I said, touching records, and then there was turntables at the record store, so you could kind of fade back and forth, and I just thought that was really fun. And I have a history of music from being in band. I played trumpet, but other than that, it was I wasn't in a band or around a bunch of DJs. I know some people, they get into DJing because they're their dad was a DJ in Chicago in the 80s or whatever.
Yeah.
That wasn't me. It's more music appreciation, and then looking up to just kind of seeing that people were playing music, and then also definitely thinking that scratching was cool. I remember the first time I saw some videos of what they call the DMC Championship. DJ nerds know all about it. It's lore. It's
okay.
DJs
yeah, I'm
compete.
unfamiliar.
They compete and put together sets, and A-Track is one of the most famous DJs because he was so good when he was 13 years old.
Really?
And he battled and just like had this whole routine. And I watched that and I was basically his age and I was like, whoa, that's freaking amazing. Like, how did he do all that? So I thought scratching was like crazy. It was like a whole other art form.
Cool.
Yeah. Long answer, but yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So did you like first start playing in bands after, like when you were in high school or after, or did you like straight get into DJing around that age?
Definitely the first exposure I had to bands was because of her as well.
Yeah.
There was like a basement like scene in Portland. It was hipster back then. This was like I graduated high school 2010.
So she was going out to shows?
Yeah.
Cool.
I graduated in 2010 and that era before that there was like this thing called PDX Fest. I think they still do it, PDX Punk Fest, and I mean her friends were older than me, but it was cool. And I did make some friends that were my age, but it was honestly kind of hard to have that stick because I was really a lot more socially awkward and shy and kind of intimidated by like how cool like kids that grew up in the city were versus me in the suburbs.
That's hard to believe now.
I know. It was just true though. Like I felt like a total like dweeb like compared to, I don't know, like they like rode the bus and the subway, or it's not the subway, right. It's like the above ground thing. But I don't know. So I wasn't exactly like chums with like any kids my age, but I did learn about band stuff through her as well, and we did play in a band together, sort of. Like we played music in the basement for fun, and we were like on a show, like just how shows are all the time here, like no like high stakes, just like a basement house show, friends come, and then we played together and we called it Sister Sister, and there's like a picture of it. I'm like playing the trumpet in it.
That's so cute.
Yeah, no, we had a blast.
What did she play?
Gosh, I don't remember. I think maybe she drummed. I'm sorry.
Oh, that would make sense. Percussion's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did really get into guitar. I got a guitar, electric guitar.
Yeah, you play a lot of instruments, don't you?
My 16th birthday, I got one.
Cool.
But yeah, I owe her a lot, and I don't want to discredit my mom. Like, I was basically raised by my mom and my sister. No father figure, but they both were pretty much into music. My mom, like, I asked her, like, just recently. It took me so long to even ask. I didn't even think about it until I was like, wait, how did you get all these CDs? Like, she has so many CDs. And she was like, oh, well, you know, back in the day, you could just, like, send $20, like, a check in the mail to this company, and they would just give you CDs.
Oh,
like,
damn.
they would, like, mail them. Like
that's
they were
cool.
all, like, $1 or something.
Damn,
so she was always
cool.
playing lots of different music.
Did she play a lot of Brazilian music?
Yeah, she's kind of like, she's got her artists that she likes. I mean, samba and pagode and, like, I guess that's it. I mean, I don't think she really likes forró, but it's, like, traditional Brazilian music.
Mm-hmm.
And then she likes rock, like Santana or the Rolling Stones, or, like, she likes, like, darker stuff, too.
Oh, yeah.
She grew up in, like, the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
And at that time, like, a lot of people liked the Beatles, but she was like, the Beatles are totally square because your mom and dad likes the Beatles, and I'm more rebellious than that. So she like,
wait, who? Oh, your sister?
My mom, like, so basically our grandmas, right?
Oh,
so, like,
okay,
when the Beatles were out, like, they were like, oh, I want to hold your hand, and she's like, lame.
Yeah, that's like old. That's for old people.
Because people were like, oh, this band, the Beatles, they're so psychedelic, and she's like, whatever. So she really liked, she liked the Stones more, and she liked Judas Priest and, like, heavy metal stuff, too.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think that's what her and my dad were kind of more into, like, the rock and roll type stuff.
Cool.
Apple didn't fall far from the tree, really. Like, I got lucky to have cool parents or cool mom and sister. Yeah.
Yeah, for
Strong
sure.
women, inspiration.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did that, like, transition into, like, your music taste in your, like, 20s?
That's a good point. I will say, to be honest, like, when you are influenced by cool people, like, I think that kind of made me, like, more of a sponge versus the type of person that's going to go out of their way and really find it all. Like, so there's, like, I applaud it, right? Like, there's people that are music nerds, and they are the only, like, they were the ones that, sorry, I'm, like, tripping over my words. They're the ones that really sought that out.
Yeah.
Like their family listens to boring country music or whatever, and then they figured out everything, right? So I kind of definitely was more like my sister and everyone was like showing me a lot. So I think that for me, I was kind of influenced by people around me, but really curious. So it made a curiosity. So I was curious about like what music people liked around me, which I think makes me a good DJ because you kind of have to play what other people want.
Right. And
You know what
yeah,
I'm
yeah. I
saying?
always have, yeah, it's like always my favorite when I go out and you're DJing. I don't know. Sometimes I go to like, I mean, not to knock other DJs, but like yours are especially fun.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm like paying attention to like people's reactions and you know, like I just grew up like that. And like if my mom was like really into a song, I'd be like, huh, why does she like it? And it's just a lot of times I just felt like they were right. Like I was like, dang, she's right. This is the best song on the album. And like my sister would have an opinion about something and she would be spot on. Like,
damn.
So I think they set that tone. So I sought out some of my own favorites, but I was impressionable. I would say like I learned about more punk stuff in the punk scene in 2013 and like different bands in that era of like house shows here in Indy.
Did you go, so were you going out to like a lot of shows at that time around here?
Yeah.
You were like pretty integrated?
It's so random, dude. Like I definitely was a DJ first, and I mean I liked music and everything, but I got into the punk scene here because I was asked to DJ with the drum and bass friends that I had that
really?
like to do drum and bass music, and I DJed at a tattoo shop.
Okay.
And then the guys that worked there were like, you should come to this show. And that was
really?
how I found out about
What,
punk.
and then you were stuck for a while?
In Indy. Yeah, that's how I found out about punk in Indy. Before that, it was like kind of intimidating to me. And some of the girls I went to high school with, I feel like they're like, people know them, you know, they're cool. Like, one girl, she lives in New York City. They would go to shows when I was in high school. But I just felt kind of lame. Like, I didn't feel like...
Yeah.
I literally, this is embarrassing, but I remember going to a show and, like, people just were intimidating to me. Like, I was like, people aren't
that's
coming
real.
up and
I mean,
saying
I feel
hi,
like
and
people
then
in
I
like the
left.
scene like just act really cool a lot of
Yeah.
like not it's like people's vibes are different, but like yeah, there is sometimes of that like too cool to care mentality with some people. And yeah, I mean whether or not like you interpret it that way and it's correct, it's like it still feels that way, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I might have just been kind of babied because like when I would go hang out with my sister, they'd be like, hey Jess, what's up?
Yeah.
What do you want to do? You want to come here and do that? And then I'd go to like a show and I tried to go by myself, and then the basement, it was so like loud, it sounded like hell, like and I was like, I don't want to go down there.
Wait, at
So
the
one time I went, I'm gonna just list specifically where I went. I went to the 1511 randomly because I knew that there were shows that happened there, and it was kind of this buzz thing. It was very much like aggressive hardcore stuff at the time. And I went, and I was still in high school, so I'm pretty sure this was like 2009.
Okay, wow.
2010.
Yeah,
and I was
ago.
very shy about like that whole scene. So I did kind of like try to go to a show before, but then I think my little like more confident phase was like 2012 when I DJed at the tattoo shop, and then I was like invited somewhere and like went, and then there was like, you know, you're getting hit on basically, but it was fine. Like that's part of the deal, right? You're young, and gosh, I was like 20, so I was, you know, irresistible, of course.
Yeah, we're all like young, impressionable, and like a little less confident, you know what I mean?
But I mean, they were cool. Everything was cool. It was just like, then I felt there was like some traction there to like continue to keep going.
Right, it's so much easier when you like start to recognize people at shows, because then you're like, oh, if I go there, I won't just be sitting in a corner. I'll like have people to talk to, you know?
Yeah, yeah. And now I'm so comfy, like you said. You're like, I can't even imagine that. I'm just like, I know
at
what's
the DJ
going
space.
On. Well, yeah, with shows and everything too. I feel like I know a lot of people.
Oh yeah, you do know a lot of people now.
I think it's just maybe because that's how Indy is. It's not that big.
It like isn't. It isn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's like honestly, I feel like there's a lot of people in the music scene that we like. I feel like it seems smaller than it is. I don't know. You know that like 317 Show's Instagram account that Brady runs? Have you heard of that Instagram account?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I like checked it the other day. It has like over 8,500, or not thousand. Yes, 8,500 followers.
That's awesome.
I was like, damn, that's crazy. That
That's
many
good.
people like heavy music stuff in indie.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, man, we have rock and roll here for sure. There's a history of it.
Yeah.
I think something about, because the Midwest is basically overlooked, and something about being overlooked, not really being like everything matters. I think that speaks to Midwesterners, like to go and support a rock and roll show or whatever,
Yeah.
versus I don't know, like maybe more fancy things. I don't know.
Fancy
I don't know what the kids are doing besides going to rock shows.
Oh, I don't know how many rock bands do you know around here? I don't feel like I know that many rock bands around here.
I don't know. I think
I kind of wish there were more.
Stuff. Yeah, that would be cool.
Like,
sure.
I think it would be really fun to have like just a bigger like rock and roll scene here. I would like dig that.
That's true. I mean, if we get on that subject, I'm gonna sound like a freaking Gen X person or something. I'll be like, these kids don't leave their house enough. I don't know. Like, I think we're not connected.
I don't know. The kids are making a lot of cool music still.
That's true. It's just so like online, maybe more.
Yeah, I don't know. There's like been a lot of kids making like bands. I feel like recently, like so much so that like I feel like there's like a big group of kids that's just out of touch with like what State Street's even like because they can't go there.
Yeah. You see, I don't know. I really just don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. A lot of them are playing like heavier music, you know, like hardcore metal type stuff. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I think they got a good head about it. I like seeing the kids out. I feel like they're in it because it's fun, you know, not to like be cool or anything.
That's important.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I remember going to shows in Chicago, and I was just kind of jealous of their scene because they had, like, at the time when I went, it was like 2013. I feel like they had like more diversity of like, you know, different ages, different races, and also queer more representation back then, I thought, and women and stuff. And then I felt like in India was at the time like more kind of men. And then I think now the newer generation is way better at that.
Right, really cool. Definitely the younger kids like are bringing in more like of gender diversity, which is really cool. Mm-hmm. But still it's like even when you say more of a gender diversity, it's like still feels like 80% men a lot of the time, you know what I mean? But you know, what can you do? Oh man, I hope I don't get a lot of text during this podcast.
Yeah.
Did not turn my phone on.
Oopsies.
Do not disturb.
Do you want to fix it? I don't know.
Yeah, I can do that from my phone.
I think if you do it on that, it'll...
Yeah, I think it does.
Cool.
What are some, like, surprising things that you had to learn when you started to DJ? Like, when was your first DJ gig also? What was that like?
You know, so the first times I DJ'd were house parties, and I can't remember when that first DJ set was. I know that sounds kind of silly. I just don't remember.
I don't know that much about gear, but I'm gonna ask you anyway, like what type of setup it was.
Okay, so
because like there's like actual like record scratching, right? Like with the actual records, and then there's like ones that aren't exactly like that. I'm like I don't know that much about it.
So it's kind of a more recent thing that to have a consolidated DJ setup, like a controller and stuff, that really came out like. I want to say like in 2015 and past that. Like it wasn't as common. So I got this thing that's pretty cool. It was like a Christmas gift from my sister.
Oh, yeah?
And you could go to the store and get this thing called the Battle Pack. And it was 2 turntables and a mixer all in one.
Okay.
And it was a Newmark mixer, just a really simple 2-channel, no effects, none of that. And then Newmark turntables, and it was the plastic ones that were lighter weight, and they had these like pill-shaped play buttons on them. So there's different models, and the models kind of do speak on the quality of the turntables. So like Technics are the best, but also the Audio Technicas that look a lot like them and are just as heavy are pretty much just as good. So are the Pioneers that look a lot like them, pretty much just as good. Okay. But that one turntable costs like $600 or more.
Yeah.
So what I got was $500 for all this shit together. So they're like cheaper, But you know what? I really had a really good run with those. Like we figured that out. Like I remember going to my friend's house. It'd be like a birthday party, and we didn't even have like speakers, like normal speakers. I had wooden speakers with speaker wire, and I was bringing a receiver. So I had wooden speakers and like speaker wire, and I'm plugging it into the receiver and then plugging the turntables into that, and then DJ'd records.
Damn.
That was like the first time I DJ'd for my friends and stuff. And then but like around that time they would just come over, and it'd be like how we're here right now. I miss that era. I had one little room, my tiny like single person bed.
You'll have to throw some like Jess themed parties.
Yeah, just like at the house, like and we were just goofing off, and I'd kind of like do something, and they'd be smoking weed, and they're like, that was cool.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Hire Jess for your parties.
Yeah.
I don't know how much she is, but you know.
Yeah, that was a good golden era of just like not playing anywhere and people coming over instead.
Yeah.
Because my main pain point with DJing is the sound system thing. Like, as a band, you pretty much are trying to figure out the PA for everybody, right? As a DJ, they expect you to always have a PA, and I'm like so burnt out with that. So I do miss like just having people come over. That was kind of cool, but
they expect you to have a PA.
Well, basically, like DJing comes with the speakers a lot of the time.
Like even if you're playing in like a nightclub.
No, not all of them.
Oh, okay. Like teeny
just,
or like
most venues, like that's a whole other subject. Like I really want Indy to get to a better level, like where, like for example, like cities that have more DJs, like they pretty much have that installed. For various reasons, I would say, like in New York specifically, it's
seems like more
to
respectful
like bring speakers around
to like have a. I mean, like even like places that bands play, are for the most part, unless you're playing like a real DIY spot, like a house show or like a skate park, most places like have a PA.
They have a PA figured out. Yeah. So with DJing, it's kind of like, I don't know. This is my pain
and they're
point.
like more in danger at punk shows.
I know. It's my pain point. I feel like anyone who knows me, they're gonna be like, here she goes again. But I'm like, dude, I just really wish like places would take the time to put the speakers in and have a DJ booth.
Oh, I guess that makes sense if you're like playing like a porch party in some nice bar or something. I guess that makes sense that they wouldn't have their own PA.
They just don't. They have cute little like house sound speakers a lot of times, and I've plugged into those before, but it just they don't bang. Like you gotta have bigger speakers.
Good business idea would be like to get a couple PAs and like rent them out, and you would just be like, go call these guys. You have to pay for the rental.
I basically do that. I like subcontract.
Really?
Yeah.
Already?
So I had speakers that I used to play bass with because I played bass. Since we're talking about music stuff, and I actually used them for all kinds of stuff. And then towards the tail end of the time that I had them, it was all DJ stuff. They were Behringers, and they were really heavy. Like they don't make speakers that heavy anymore. Like they're just heavy because I bought them in 2013 from Sam Ash. And when they stopped working, I was just kind of like, all right, I don't think I want to buy new speakers. That's it. And it was out of respect in a way too, because like you can tell when someone's excited to do sound when they're like investing. Like I have friends that do sound, and they're like, look at this cool new microphone thing I got. I just bought this new speaker. This sub is really awesome. Let me just tune it. You know what I mean? Like they're excited about speakers, and me, it was like an afterthought. Like I was like, all right, I'll just bring these speakers that I've had for like 5 years.
Yeah, I'm kind of that way with gear too. Like some people are big gear nerds, and I'm kind of just like, I do what I can with what I have a lot of the time. You know what I mean?
You'll find that most people have their passion, and I think it's good to just know, like, you know what? If there's someone that can do this, that they're more passionate about, like doing sound, then that should be their thing, and I should just like explicitly like state that.
Yeah,
like,
honestly,
hey, this person's gonna do the sound, and I'm gonna do the DJ. Like that's it.
Yeah, yeah. No, I love the sound people exist. I like don't want to do sound.
No, it's not fun. It's if you don't like it, it's not fun.
I didn't like figuring out the setup for the sound in this podcast,
dude.
I don't like editing the audio for the podcast.
No. Yeah, but this is cool. It's just like easier.
Yeah, maybe.
No, it's an art to it. There's people that master albums. Like I don't like downplaying it. I don't like just being like, I can do sound, and it's like I mean, you'll have some speakers plugged in, but someone else is gonna know like, how the room is and where the speakers should go better. And stuff
and in some settings it like doesn't matter that much. Like okay, you're playing a house show, just something that makes noise. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, it really doesn't matter too much. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But
yeah, especially depending on like the genre too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I started on really the basic setup. I had a coffin to carry everything, which is horrible. It's like everything in one big...
coffin?
It's called a coffin, yeah.
I've never heard of this.
Did you ever watch Jersey Shore, by the way?
Yeah, I've seen a good amount.
Pauly D is actually, like, amazing. There's that specific scene. Like, I really loved him for this specific scene, like, because he's getting into DJing. And, what's the other guy's name? Why am I forgetting? The one who was kind of, like, randomly more shy or, like, not there as much. I want to say Lemmy.
The guy that
What's
dated
his name? Sammy,
or no?
No, not the buff dude. The other guy.
And the people call
it's
him.
just his name. Oh, Vinny. It's Vinny.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So Vinny,
See,
so Vinny's
you can tell
like...
I'm real big on Jersey. Sure.
I started rewatching it, so I was like... So anyways, Vinny's like, yeah, I'm going to go hang out with Paul. He's getting into this DJ thing. He seems pretty passionate about it. And so Paulie, if you go and watch that episode, he's got the coffin that I'm talking about. It's like 2 turntables and a mixer in one thing. It's horrible to carry this thing. It's like all in one, and it's awkward and vague, hard to put in a car. It's way better to have like turntable cases, individual, and then a mixer case, right? That's what I started on. And so Vinny's like, I'm going to talk to Paulie to get in this DJ thing. And he's like, so what you got there? And then he's noticing that he's playing with Serato, which is like a way to bypass having records and use your laptop instead, but you still use discs. So I'm pretty sure Vinny's like, so are these just like regular, he says that it is, he's like, are these regular turntables? And then Paulie's like, what? These aren't regular turntables. These are Technics 1200s. These are the best ones you can get. And I was like, okay, he knows his stuff. I was like, this is kind of cool to see. Like,
that's cute.
Like, I think that footage is from like 2009, and he's just like, I got that. He's like proud of his stuff.
Yeah,
and, like,
that's cool.
Yeah, but that coffin, it's hell. It's hell. I'm hoping he didn't bring that to the club. I don't know.
You think? Oh, you know what I should have set up with you? I should have
shit.
set up like some game of like celebrities who are also DJs and what you think of them. That would have been a fun game.
Dude, yeah.
What do you think, Paris Hilton?
I'm not hating.
Okay, we don't.
I think what did Paris Hilton got on the mic and like people were booing her and she said something that was really funny. Do you remember that video?
No. Was this like when she first started DJing?
I think she said, God, I'm butchering it. If people know, I'm sorry. It's like, just say it. Look, I don't remember what she said, but she just was like, you guys are just jealous or something. And I just thought it was so funny. I was like, yeah, tell her that.
I love how she like just owned being the dumb blonde character.
Yeah.
Like she like took no offense to people hating on her because it was like a character.
Right.
Or I'm sure it was hard, but
I think that okay, so this has been on my mind, so I hope this is relevant because sometimes I'll connect things that I'm like, I've just been thinking about it lately. But I just think that being more in the spotlight is not easy. Like it's just hard. Like and basically like
the spotlight, like just being
basically
up there?
what happens is I really think that people embrace being famous and they want to be famous, or people are really good at something and they get known for it, and then the fame is kind of like the man, like now I have to make everybody like me, or I gotta worry about like everybody knowing me. And I think some people they never really wanted to be famous, they just were really good at this thing.
I mean, I thought about that a lot. I think it's a discomfort with being seen, like not being comfortable being exposed to the world. You know?
It's just like you want to really do this thing and let it live and breathe on its own, but unfortunately people think that like your face equals that thing you made, and that's
also what sells, unfortunately.
But I think Paris Hilton is someone that's like, she's putting her mind into the famous part. She's like actually like trying to master that, which I think is in a way like a use of your brain that maybe she's gonna figure that out versus someone else is just gonna be like, like I don't know what to do.
Is like
I'm
a
under the
two-way
spotlight.
mindset.
So she's just like actually working that aspect of being famous, and other people they're just famous and they're like, I hate this.
I feel like it's
whatever.
a difference of like putting like the responsibility of dealing with it like on you internally or blaming the other people. You know what I mean?
I think so.
Like because like if you're uncomfortable with being seen, being famous, it means that like you feel like there's something that like you don't want people seeing about you, like something with you is like
whoa, that's deep,
wrong, or like, you know what I mean? Or like versus people are so mean, it's so hard to be in the spotlight, like I just wish I had a break, like, you know what I mean?
That's a real thing to say. Yeah, I think it's valid to want to make something and not realize that it means that like your face is going to be connected to it so much. I think you should be allowed to be an artist and like let something live and breathe, and like you just you know you really like making this thing, but you're not wanting to be like the Paris Hilton of it.
It's true.
So I think
feel
for
like
Paris Hilton to step up and be like, I will embrace this like stupid basic outcome that humans kind of do.
yeah.
Like that's someone's got to do it.
It's really like whether no for sure. I mean, I feel like this is the conversation of the digital age and like how it's changed things has come up a lot recently
Always,
in these
yeah.
podcasts. But like, yeah, I feel like like just doing your art for your art was so much more possible before the internet and social media. When like the whole world couldn't see you at all times, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like now that like we can have updates about everybody at every time, it's like okay to like remain like people are thinking about you to continue to make a living off what you do. You have to like be like a greater proportion of what people see like compared to all of the other stuff that's fed to them all the time because they're fed so much.
Well, so like I said, I've been thinking on this and I do want people to really enjoy me as a DJ for like dancing amongst themselves and like hearing the mix and just being like, oh, that was good. Like, oh, we like this song. I want them to have fun. I personally don't exactly want people to like look at me like I'm the star because I'm not singing. I'm not dancing.
Kind of nice
I'm
about
not
DJing.
Janet Jackson. You know, I'm not Britney. Like I'm just like do. Like I'm kind of like being a little bit of a nerd to be honest.
Yeah.
So I'm like, please like listen and have fun amongst yourselves, but I get it that like when it comes to promos and stuff, they're like they want your face up there and your logo.
I see what you mean.
And I'm like, I think that for me, I'd rather it kind of just be about the music more and.
That's real.
Yeah.
No, that totally makes sense. So you feel kind of hidden, and that makes you feel safer, like to like not have to like put on a show for everybody physically with your face and your body too.
Because, and this is like my hot take, I guess, on it is like when you make something and it's good, that lets it kind of be like this, like it's good thing. But when you're a person and your success is based on people basically like supporting you and following you, I think that's in a way you're letting people take too much credit because they're like basically saying, well, we picked this person to be famous, we love them. And that takes away the credit from you being good at a thing, good at the art of it, I think. Like, basically what I'm trying to say is it's like, let's use a food metaphor, right? Let's say, like, you go out to eat at a restaurant and I'm the chef, but you don't know who I am. You should like the food because it's good, right?
Yeah.
But then let's say, like, 500 people come in and then, like, you know, they're like, man, we support this chef so much. Like, they're starting to kind of take because consumerism steals creativity. So people don't make their own things because we're working so much and we're we're like kind of unfortunately like feeling like if we want to do anything we have to monetize it. Like you can't just like start painting or something to get that creative outlet. Maybe you feel like you should do your job and then when you're not at work you're like missing on that creative outlet.
The starving artist, you know.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is, like, I think it's more important for me, like, my personal, like, manifesto about it is, like, do a good thing and let it, like, be received well. And it's not about, like, an opinion as much as it's, like, it's good. Like, if you made a good meal and people like it, that should just be able to be on its own thing versus being like, oh, well, do we like the chef or not? Or are we going to come because the chef's hot? And we want to, like, see them cooking. Like, I just want it to be about the thing.
Yeah.
And I think that, like, basically some of my, like, grievances with DJing is, like, I swear, like, if someone comes to the club and they're like, you should play this song next. I'm like, whoa, you need to, like, have a creative outlet. Like, you need to do a wine and canvas or go do something before you come to this club that makes you feel like you had some creative control. Because when you're breaching into the part where consumerism is your creative outlet, you're like, I just buy things and I just like tell people to make me stuff, and now
Instead
I'm telling the DJ
like
what to do.
dancing and enjoying it.
Yeah, I think
it's like you're not a wedding DJ.
Dude, I think that can go hand in hand. Like, more people need to be like sewing their own blankets or sweaters or something. Like, we need to like make sure like we're not just wanting people to make stuff for us, and that's trying to compensate for the fact that we want to make stuff, I think.
Yeah.
So I think
like Americans are just used to having so many choices in front of them all the time. Like our menus are so exhaustive.
Yeah. When you go to the store, it's insane, right?
Yeah, I hate superstores. Like I wish an Aldi was closer to here.
Yeah.
Because like I don't want to walk through. I know. Yeah. I don't want to walk through a huge ass store. I avoid going to the grocery store because I don't want to spend so much time in a store.
Yeah.
I just want those little corner grocery stores.
Yeah.
Like they have in
simplify
other countries.
It, right?
Yeah.
And that's what being an artist is. You're like, I'm simplifying this down to like my favorites of this thing, whatever that is, whatever sounds you want to have. And then I'm just going to relate it back to like the popularity thing. It's like that should be based on really liking that thing. And I don't think it should be based on like too much of a connection with that person as much as you would think. Like, I don't know. For me,
like
at least it's
like more up to the person to interpret it.
Because what you're telling me is now I am a DJ and that's my whole like, personality. And I feel like maybe just because I've been doing it for so long, it's like I kind of push back on that a little bit. What that dude was telling you?
Or like when people come up to... Or me?
Just like a pushback of like, I want to be able to let my DJ thing be its thing. But outside of that, like, just like how people go to work or how people...
Okay.
When they're not in their band, they're not like that all the time. So when you associate like Jessica as this like the face with it, it's kind of like it makes it so personal. Which there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah,
but I think it can just be maybe not really the best for boundaries of like who am I outside of this kind of thing.
So like in this podcast, you'd rather like be a holistic person with lots of music experiences related to music
I think
and culture.
So.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I it's hard to say because DJing is like who I am too. It's just like I really want. All I can say is I really want people to like enjoy the music and have their own like opinions of it. I think people who love it like they love it because there's some math part to it. It's like good design or good cooking. It's like there is some truth of like this is right. I would think. And I would hope that continues. I think it always will. Just finding that, like, this is what sounds good or feels good, you know.
So back to, did you ever answer, like, what would surprise people about, like, getting started DJing?
Well, I am, like,
you?
a seasoned, experienced DJ, so I kind of don't know what it's like to start.
Yeah, it was so long ago.
I know that sounds like whatever.
No, that makes sense.
I started on turntables, and I don't think DJs have to do that anymore. They can buy like cheaper controllers to start on.
So you don't even know what it's like to start on different equipment.
I think you can start DJing for like $100 now if you have a laptop. You can get a little controller, just go bloop bloop.
Cool.
And then you're really like into the screens and like beat matching by waveforms. I would implore like most DJs to learn how to use their ears to make sure it sounds good, not get too lost in like it's like driving with GPS.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I learned to DJ with my ears at first, and that helped me like even if you like have the sync or whatever, right? Sync button is a hot topic. If you do that and you have your own set, even then at some point you're going to play with somebody else. And is your transition when they start always just going to be like a fade out, all right, here's the next DJ, or would you ever possibly ever want to be able to beat match into their stuff? Because in order to do that, if they're on their own computer, you're going to have to use your ears. Like there's no, unless they figure out a way. I think with CDJs maybe you can, but I play on turntables and like use Serato. Mm-hmm. So you're going to need to be able to listen at some point and like know how to do it with your ears. And I just hope that the newer DJs can do that still. I think it's worth learning. And I think it's more accessible to get gear, which is cool. I think that's fine. But then getting into the scene or whatever, you can really do whatever you want.
Like getting booked.
You basically kind of got to decide if you want to do your own thing with your friends or if you want to maybe try to join with other people. And then in that situation, you would basically kind of be like hoping that they'll let you open for them and maybe like just try to have like a genuine like I think helps be friends, honestly. Just be friends with people.
Is there any other advice you'd give to people that want to like breaking out and doing like playing gigs?
I definitely admire someone more when they figure out at least how to get their first gig by themselves. Even if it's just like they're making mixes on the internet or something. Like if I have like no idea what you're doing at all, or and I don't even mean me personally, I just mean like most DJs that are like booked. If we can't even see what you're doing and you're like, can I play my very first show ever with you? I feel like that's kind of hard. So like you got to at least start doing something.
Yeah. What about like a YouTube video online of them DJing?
That would be
something?
okay.
Yeah.
That would be fine with me. Just start doing something.
Yeah.
You don't want to be codependent. You know what I mean? You want to like do your own thing.
Yeah, you don't want to like baby
I
someone.
don't want to even be like, because I might not know. Like,
yeah.
you might be able to play some music that I didn't even know about, and it ends up being tight. So I don't want to like really get in people's get in the way of their own path, especially with the age difference and stuff. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. I think it's really great to put people on though. Like, I've done that a lot, and I've always done it pretty much when I could see that they were doing something already. Because it's fun for me. Like, I'm like, oh, I feel like I just discovered this cool person that is, like, not DJing high key yet, but they're DJing low key, and it sounds good. So I'm, like, excited to, like, you know, like, be like, oh, maybe, like, if they ask me, like, that's cool, you know, they want to do a thing. But I try not to, like, I don't know. Being a mentor is like a lot. So
yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure it is.
Mm-hmm.
It is a lot to keep up with.
Yeah, you don't want to be too much like. It's kind of the same thing as college. Like, there's college and then there's the DJ school, and they both do the same thing. They teach you how to do it, but they're not telling you where you're going to get your job after. They're not going to say, okay, now you're going to DJ at this club.
Do you know anyone that offers like a service of mentoring for like payment or anything?
No, I just know of the DJ school.
Oh,
where
there's
they teach
a
people
DJ
how to
school
DJ.
here?
Yeah, here in Indy.
Oh.
It's called Decademics. So that's a great way to go. And they have turntables and records. It's really fun going there. It's like, whoa, I get to like use this stuff, you know, because they have it all. He'll teach you how to DJ, but he's not gonna exactly like, you know, give you a full-time job after that. You're gonna have to figure that out, and that's for a good reason.
No one wants to hire someone entitled, you know.
Yeah, I mean that's for good reason. It's like, okay, you know how to do it, so do it. You know, you're empowered.
Right, like be confident about it, but also be humble.
And maybe there's like a place you would want to get in that the mentor would have no idea about.
Yeah.
Truly, like, yeah. So I hope that's good advice.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's better than what I could give. What do you like about DJing? Because earlier before we started recording, you said you didn't like you didn't think you wanted to really like perform in bands live with like pre-written songs much anymore.
I did.
So like what do you like about like what made you choose DJing over that?
So I guess to compare it to playing an instrument, DJing would be like, I guess if you played like the saxophone or something, and then you had a drum machine, and then you just freestyled and did whatever you wanted. But then it's even more than that, because maybe it's like you have the saxophone, and then you put it down, you can pick up a trumpet, and then you put it down, you can pick up the flute, because you could play ultimately any song that exists.
Yeah.
And it's all like freestyled. And my sets are never the same. Like I'm never like playing the same 20 songs. So I'm like truly, in some way, like existing by expressing myself in the moment. And that's DJing, because I'm like sensitive to my environment. I did go to school for design, like visual communication design, so like the stuff we learned about, it's like, it's not exactly interior design, but it's kind of just like, what's the room, like what's the vibe, what's the client kind of thing. So I get inspired by like literally anything. Like I played at this place called Red Lion, and they had like this British flag, so I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna play that song by Blur called Boys and Girls, because it's like kind of bratty and British, and they have a British flag up there. Like I just will be inspired by where I am, and it's super improv, and then it's with yourself, so it's expressive. Like with a band, like I think with jazz they improv and stuff like that. I think that can be really cool too. I think I would maybe like that more, but there is, I guess, some limitations, because you have to be on the same page with everybody, and then you are just focusing on like your one instrument.
Yeah.
So I will say like turntables is like my instrument, and there's percussive elements of like kind of like scratching it in and out. That's why I really like vinyl, because to be honest, like when I play on, I have a controller that I'll play on sometimes, or on CDJs, like I'm kind of bummed that I can't like do any like, basically I would be like da 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 da, and then the song would play. Like it can do like kind of an intro sort of thing, or you can scratch out and be like da 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 da, like you kind of just like have a drum like almost moment like out of it. And with controllers, it's just like the next song, and then you like fade it out. And I was like, dang, like it's so smooth, but I like to be able to like play a little bit like an instrument more.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I just like being able to have freestyle, improv type of DJing versus like a rigid thing. When I was in band, I was first chair for a while playing trumpet. I had the ugliest trumpet, and I was first chair. It was great. I got it from a pawn shop with my mom, and it was
really?
like the only gold one, and it had like spots on it and stuff. And then I was first chair. It was hilarious. But then like 11th grade, 12th grade, I wanted to do other things, and I tried to be like, hey, can I just like not be in band anymore? And they're like, well, you shouldn't quit, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And I went down, like I was no longer playing lead parts. I was like in the middle. Like, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I fell down a little bit, and it was because I just was like, I don't know, all we're doing is reading the sheet music and playing it.
Yeah.
And I got bored with that. I wanted to make up stuff. I wanted to just be like, blah, and make up songs.
Yeah. Yeah, I was never in like a band like that, so I don't have that experience.
There's got to be a phrase for this. Like when you're in DJing, we call it like gliding or something, where you're basically, you're not communicating with words anymore. You're tapped in to like the bigger power of music.
Like when you're in a band,
and
like when you're in like a marching band or something.
Well, you are totally just like that has happened in the freestyle format of like, you're not thinking, like I really don't think words when I'm DJing anyways. Like I'm not thinking, and then the next song, like I'm just kind of like, oh, this, like I guess if there's words, I'd be feeling like, let me pick another song that feels
honestly,
like that.
I feel like that sounds like the idea of it like has become an extension of your body.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I would think of it.
There's got to be like a feeling when you're like, you're just lost in it, and you're not exactly like making sure you're counting or anything. You're just kind of like, this
for
feels
sure.
good.
I feel like that's the goal. That's exactly how I would just like same thing with it when you're playing an instrument. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So it'd be kind of like if you were lucky enough to play with people where you can just jam, and then you're like, whoa, that was awesome. You know, like when you just jam, you're not saying let's play in this chord or that, or let's change.
Oh, that
like,
makes sense, dude. That would take a real special group of people to find.
I know, that's what I wanted out of bands, though. Yeah, I got pretty close. Like, I won't say it never happened. Definitely jammed with people.
Oh, in your previous bands? Yeah, how many, like, what were some of your more significant projects?
Okay.
Before you were solely a DJ?
So, the silly bands I was with my sister, that was Sister Sisters. I'm going to start there. And then, I dated a guy that was in this, like, popular hardcore band called Side Effects. His name's Dave. And we were in a band called Sorry Joint. That was when I first learned how to play drums. Cool. And that was kind of like Velvet Underground, proto-punk sounding, so it wasn't like really like heavy or anything. And then after that, I was in this band with my friend Rachel, who lives in Philly now, called Shame Thugs. And we were named after, I picked the name from a Total Control song, which is like this really awesome Australian band. But our music didn't sound like them. We were kind of far out. Rachel is an amazing singer. She puts a lot of effects on her vocals. Like, she's like, I don't know, I would put her up with like, you know, like a Beyonce. Like, she like has the vocal, she's got the pipes for it. She's a really good singer, but she would trip them all up and like make it all crazy. And it was just her and I, and we had beats that we would play along to, and I played bass, and we were on like the cover of Nouveau and stuff.
Really?
Like, we were kind of getting good traction.
I wish Nouveau still had physical issues.
Me too.
R.I.P.
I know. So the Shame Thugs was cool. Then we kind of just like went to different cities. I moved to Bloomington, and I made this band with the cool girls that would come to the shows at the house I lived in. Because it was kind of cool. Like, I had this door that went outside of my room, so I could like hang out. I lived with a guy named Cora, who's playing in Narrowhead. now, and he was in Bug, and that was a cool era. Like that was really fun. Like the punk scene in Bloomington in what year was that? 2016. So that was cool. We were called Dove, all girl band. Really made like good best friends in that era. And then I was like, I'm gonna move to Indy, guys. And then most of them moved to Indy, and it was perfect. So we all stayed friends. But then the band kind of switched around, and we changed members or whatever. Some people didn't, we weren't playing anymore. And then it was just Lauren and I, and we wrote some songs. And then we were like, let's just call this Sonia. And then that was like the beginning of all the Sonia stuff. And then before that, notable mention, I forgot. Cora and I did play in a band before I moved to Bloomington, and we were called Sus, and it was very short-lived. It was with Adrian.
Okay.
Jacob, True Blood, he sang.
Oh, really?
He was, like, so new at it, and I remember, like, he was nervous, but he did a really good job. And we played at a skate park, and that was, like, the most punk thing ever. I remember we did a cover of You Tear Me Up by the Buzzcocks, and it was really, really cool. And I had never really played bass for people to, like, mosh that hard ever, so that was really cool.
Oh, yeah.
That was a good time. Oh wait, and then I'm forgetting Cocors too. Gosh,
oh yeah. That's the one.
That's
the one I remember most because it was the most recent.
Yeah, the most recent.
Well, you were in Sonia kind of recently, but yeah.
Yeah,
Cocors.
Sonia's was like a lot. It's still going. It's a long wave of it. I'm not in it really anymore just because I DJ way too much, and I hate being that jerk that's like, well, I can't do it because I got to DJ every Friday and Saturday night and make us only play shows like on this day. And I really do want to still maybe make music, just not, I'm burnt out of playing live. Like, I would like to work on an album, and I mean, like I said, I went to school for design, so I think it's kind of fun to think about, like, what's the song order? What do we call every song? What does the album look like? Like, that just sounds fun to me, like, to publicize that, or, like, even maybe make the tapes or whatever, or even a record, but anyways, I digress. Cocors was with this guy who raps. His name's Nagasaki Dirt, and he was a singer. And then it was with our friend Ian, who played guitar, and Dan, who played drums. And Dan also DJ'd under the name Slender Dan, but then his production stuff was under another name, and it's called Eremita. And I really like his production stuff. So there was a lot of connection with everything.
He was the reason that band ended, right? Because he moved?
Yeah. Dan moved to Colorado. He married a Brazilian girl, too. So happy for him. She's more Brazilian than me. She's from São Paulo. She's Paulista. I am, my family's from Rio, they're Carioca, different vibe, and I like try to catch up with my heritage basically because I live in Indy, and it's, my mom's here, but it's different when you're like really there and you lived there.
Yeah,
like,
you were there pretty recently for a while, right?
Yeah, I go and visit, and I practice Portuguese, and, people kind of get it and know that I'm more Brazilian than the average gringa, but I still think I'm pretty gringa when I go there, to be honest. I'm not gonna front. Like, when I go there, like, I don't know the ins and outs of everything. Like,
yeah, at least you don't pretend you do,
Yeah, but they'll have me wrong, man. Like, they got it wrong. Like when I first get there, before I like get back into being at the beach and starting to blend in better, like they'd be like, what's up? You want to buy this? And I'll speak Portuguese to them and be like, oh, never mind. like I'll just be like, you got the wrong girl,
That's so funny.
There's lots of white Brazilians, though. Brazil is everything. Like, Brazilians are everybody. But, anyways, yeah, Dan's doing great. Whenever he wants to come to town, maybe we'll have a reunion or something. Like, none of the bands ended on bad terms. Everybody's good. It's just a matter of people moving, and, like, my DJ stuff does conflict, like, it's a little, I wish I could DJ, on a Monday at noon, but it's not happening. Most of the parties are Saturday night, and then that's when shows want to happen, and it's just
like to have like a more like a not like night owl schedule.
Yeah, if somehow I could DJ during the day all the time, and then still be in a band at night. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
But that'd probably still be too much. It's just I'm just saying, like, I'm making a joke. I'm like, it's Indy really like has one day of fun, and I wish we had more, because Saturday, that's when the city's shining. Everyone's like,
I want more too. We really need more clubs around here.
We don't let ourselves have enough fun on,
or like more
on
cool
the days we
clubs.
work. On the days people work, they're just very content with like going to work that day. But in other cities, like, they're like, what's next? What are we doing next? You know what I mean? But here we're like, well, Saturday. I didn't work the day before, or they did. I don't work the next day. And then they're like, that's the day. And that's when you see everybody riding their bikes around and hanging outside and going to all the fun parties. And that's when I get asked to DJ more because it's like, hey, we want to have a party at this thing. Like this recent Saturday that happened, it was Mother's Day weekend. So the beer garden at Newfields, Indianapolis Museum of Art, had like some stuff going on. So I DJ'd there from noon to 4. And then right after that, I went to a Broad Ripple turntable for like this private. It was a ticketed event. I guess it wasn't private. It was a ticketed event called Mom's Night Out because it was Mother's Day. And so that was from, like, I'm just giving you a slice of how like freaking busy it can be. So it's like noon to 4, the museum, and then 6 to 9 was Mom's Night Out, and then 10 to like 2 was the Vogue, which was like, because it was Mexican Mother's Day. It's the party we did called Reventon, and so I got to represent Brazil a little bit and play like baile funk at that, which was cool. But that was 3 gigs in one day, so I DJed all day.
Insane.
And but then on like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I don't really work.
Yeah, that's nice.
So it's just a different schedule.
I don't know. I really admire how you like got that one graphic design job and then you quit and you're like, I don't want to do this, and then you like you just made DJing be full time. Like you did that. You were like, that's what I want to do, and you did that.
Yeah, thanks.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I still really like design. I think I just am more blue collar than I realized. I don't know. I like to clock in and clock out. I don't want to be like this. Like a lot of these jobs are just like, well, every day 8 hours, and then you really only do like 4 hours of work. Right? I don't know. Maybe I need help with that. Like
it depends on the job.
Like office life is that bad, but for me, I think DJing was calling my name. I was like, but I should do that. Yeah, but office jobs, they can be pretty good. Like, I don't know. I guess I think I needed like to settle into it more, and I didn't let myself. I was like, like this internship is cool, but I'm ready to see what DJing will do, and making your own schedule and stuff is really cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, for sure.
But I will say, like, when I go to Brazil, like the past 2 years, I've been able to go for like a month basically, because I'll just not book myself and go. I will say it's like in part because I really do need it, because my work-life balance is not the best. It's getting better. That's why I kind of like nudged at like, hey, like let's try to separate what people do from who they are if it's possible. Because literally, like, if I go places where more of my friends are, I end up talking about my job, or like just like, even think about it. Like if I'm working Friday, Saturday, Sunday, someone's like, hey, like, it's Monday, it's a perfect time to email you. I'm like, this is my day off. I don't get a day off, really. Tuesday, hey, do you want to talk about what's going on this weekend? I guess. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't really get days off. You're always working. So that's why I literally, like, fuck off and go to Brazil for a whole month, because I, like, need that break. But it's also obviously, like, cool that you can choose that. And, I mean, I don't have to work as much as I do. I think I just, like, I'm hustling. I don't know. I think there's supply and demand or something. There's some part of it where I'm like...
For sure. And you'll figure it out if that starts to not feel right for you, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Well, thanks so much for taking the time to come here with your busy schedule.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was really late. I was 2 hours late. Very carioca.
She called herself out.
Very carioca of me. Is like very late. Like, look at there.
Yeah.
I like took a nap.
Yeah, she literally texted me. She was like,
I had coffee.
I'll be there 45 minutes late. Then she texted me at like 7:15. Oh, sorry, I took a nap.
I really did. And then I had some coffee for part 2 of the day.
Nice.
I think I'm going to go out tonight and support my friend, too. My friend, DJ Annie D, is playing, and her and I are, like, we're like DJ sisters, because we're the same exact age, and we both DJ full-time, really, and she's an inspiration for me. Sometimes you can be kind of like the lone cowboy or the lone cowgirl, because you're just doing all these gigs, working for yourself. It's cool, you know, no one's your boss or whatever, but you don't actually have like colleagues sometimes. So she's like, her and I have a really good like relationship and rapport where we can actually talk to each other about stuff. Well,
thank you so much for joining me today on Local Music Shapes Culture. Yeah. Is there any shout outs you want to do to the internet?
If I don't give a shout out, I feel like I'm a jerk. Shout out DJ Gabby Love. She's a big inspo.
Hell yeah.
We love her. Shout out my sister. Her name's Karen Antunes. And shout out to all the women that pioneered and proved that like you could do shit.
What's your Instagram that people, or anything that people can connect with you if they want to?
It's DJ Littletown.
Hell yeah. Thank you guys so much for joining. If you want to follow this podcast, you can subscribe on Substack, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, or there's an RSS feed that Substack hosts. So thank you guys so much for joining. I'm Allison Kristoff. This is Jess. I'll see you next week.